What's going on, everybody? Ratchet Wrenches is back for another video, and today we're doing a car review, and we have the privilege of a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Edition 4x4. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is pretty much just like a general overview. This car comes in a sticker price around $42,000. It is an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has a 3.6 liter V6 with dual overhead cam. Open that up so you get a nice view of that. So it's pushing around 293 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs. So one other thing I just want to mention quickly in the overview is the gas mileage. It's 18 miles per gallon city estimate, and then 24.5 highway driving, and combined it's a 21 miles per gallon. And the total tank capacity is 24.6 gallons. So that was just a quick overview of it. Now we're going to get into the appearance. So the first thing I want to talk about is the appearance. Just note that this is 4th generation Grand Cherokee. It's been the same body style pretty much since 2010, so there's really no significant differences. The only thing that's really changed is the lighting. We have LED DRL running strips. We have HID projector headlights, which have the automatic assist, so if you're on a dark road, it'll automatically turn your high beams on, and if it senses a car coming at you or some form of light, it will turn off, so it's respectful to the other drivers, which is just a nice touch. We have the LED fog lamps. Those are very, very bright. I'm not going to really say much about the grille or anything because that's been the same for the past couple years. The body style hasn't really changed. It's still that simple yet aggressive stance. If you make your way over here, it comes stock with 18-inch aluminum rims paired with Michelin all-season tires, which is very good because, you know, these Jeeps are meant for off-roading, and if you have snow, like here in Jersey, we get snow a lot. It's very convenient that you don't have to switch to snow tires. And if you follow it, it's got the nice trim that completes the accents of the car. It's very simple. I wish it was painted. If you want that painted, it comes on the Limited X, which has a little different body style and aesthetic appeal. But that trim pretty much complements the lines of the cars, goes consistently throughout the whole vehicle. We made our way to the rear of the vehicle. It's pretty much the same as the previous generations, so I'm not going to go into details about it. One thing I do not like is the taillights are not LEDs. I think they kind of cheaped out there, and it should be consistent throughout the whole vehicle. It would just be very bright for, you know, backing up and stuff like that, turn signals, but I won't get into that. So that's pretty much going to sum up the appearance. Like I said, it hasn't changed much from the previous generations. We're going to make our way into the luxuries and the safety features and some other features once we hop on inside, so let's get to that now. Before we make our way inside the vehicle, I just want to get you familiar with the key fob. It's got the unlock button, the lock button, the trunk button where if you press it twice it will pop it open, and when it's open you press it twice it will automatically close it for you. But the most important is the remote start. So if it's, you know, winter time, it's snowing out and you want to get your car heated up a little bit before you get in there so you can drive comfortably to work, you just press that button twice. Takes a second, but boom, it remote started. And you could adjust the settings where it will blast heat and it will warm up your steering wheel. And then of course you got the panic button, which is standard on every vehicle. And if you want to cut the power off the car, you just press it once, the remote start button once, and it will kill it. But most people don't know that every electronic key fob has an actual key. So say the battery on this key fob dies, you could still access your vehicle and you won't be stranded in the middle of nowhere. So that's pretty much a quick overview of the key fob. So like I was stating earlier, with the key fob, it has the trunk button where if you press it twice, it will pop open. It gives you a little beeping warning, which is just a safety feature to let you know that it's opening. So if you're standing behind it, you don't get hit in the head. Granted, it's slow, it might not hurt, but it's still a safety feature that they have to have. So as you can see, it's being occupied right now, and there's still a lot of stuff in here, but there's plenty more room. You could also put the seats down to make it more spacious. This is a very good vehicle if you're going on a road trip or you're going on a vacation. You can fit plenty of luggage in here and stuff that you need, and all your belongings. You could also press the button on the key fob to close it, or there's an interior switch right here which you press and it will beep once again to warn you. And also, which is a very good feature, is if you're under it and it senses that someone's under it, like your child or your dog or anything blocking the way from it closing, it will sense it and it will automatically put the rear tailgate right back up so no one will get hurt. So we're pretty much done with the rear hatch. Let's go check out the inside. I first want to point off this handle is conveniently placed. It's not a big step up, but it is helpful for elderly people and me. My legs are completely shot. First impressions, being 5'11", sometimes 6 foot, you know, on my good days. It's spacious, it's comfortable, but it's not overly comfortable. I've been in Ford Explorers and some other competitors, and there's plenty of legroom. But this will get the job done for, you know, a long road trip or anything like that. So as you can see, my seat is more vertical compared to these two over here. There's a lever on each side where you could recline it and, you know, just lean back and have a little more comfortable of a ride. So one other thing I want to mention is it's pretty standard nowadays, but it's got some cup holders here. So if you don't have anyone sitting in the middle seat, it's a nice touch to put your McDonald's drinks and whatnot. But if we make our way down here, it's a very simple console back here. You got this little switch, this little toggle switch, which controls the airflow from the feet to the upper body, which is nice, but I'm not a fan of it because a lot of people load up their middle seat with junk and they'll put stuff here, and I feel like if you hit that, it could snap it. It's very chachi feeling. So one little design flaw, but also if we make our way down here, it's got a 12-volt outlet, which you don't see as often, but it's becoming more popular because a lot of people are using 12-volt stuff in vehicles now. It's got 2 USB ports for charging capabilities of your smartphones, iPods, whatever it is you need. And one major feature, which not a lot of rear seats have, is heated seats. I think that's just going to bring the comfortability up completely and puts this vehicle over some other manufacturers. I think that's a perfect touch, and who doesn't like some warm seats when they're, you know, trying to sleep or on a long road trip or anything like that? So let's make our way into the front of the vehicle. So one other quick note before we make our way inside I want to mention is, not a lot of people know this, is if the key is within close proximity of the vehicle, you can just put your hand here and it will automatically unlock that door. So if your hands are full and your keys in your pocket or in your purse or whatnot and you want to get in there, you just put it down there and you'll open it. And one other thing, same thing, you just press this button, walk away, go to the grocery store, boom, your car's locked. But let's make our way inside. So we made our way in the front seats. I want to first off say it's very comfortable. It's got very firm lumbar support, which could be fully adjusted on both passenger and driver side. With the push of a button, you can change everything, bottom part, lower back, upper back, etc. And then on the door, only on the driver's side, it has memory positions. So if one driver sits somehow, you could program it to being button number 1. And if the driver sits another style, you press 2 and it will automatically cater to them. If we make our way up to the steering wheel, it's full leather, very grippy, very comfortable feel. It's not hard, and it is also heated, which is amazing because here in Jersey or anywhere else where it's cold and it's wintertime, you want your fingers to be warm because this is what's going to dictate where you're going, so you want to have the comfortable grip. It's got a multitude of buttons. It's got cruise control. It's got phone call. You can hang up and answer a incoming call with the click of a button on your steering wheel. It's also got voice activated commands, so you could, you know, press the button and a prompt will pop up and you could just talk to it saying what you want and so on and so forth. It's got the clean toggle switch over here for your wipers, your rear wipers, your lights and high beams and stuff like that. Let's turn the vehicle on. So if we make our way over here, you got a beautiful 8.4-inch touchscreen display. Has all your controls. You can do your heated seats. You could even turn the ventilated seats, which is pretty much just to vent cold, not really cold air, but airflow through your seat. So if it's a warm day and leather gets hot, the vented seat will, you know, cool your bottom. You got the passenger heated seats. You got Wi-Fi hotspots. You got a multitude of different apps. One other thing I want to mention is it comes standard with the navigation. You could use that. I think most Jeep offers will give you a 5-year travel link subscription, but most people nowadays will just pair their Bluetooth and their own Google Map. This is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's a Uconnect system. So enough with that. We have, if we make our way down here, there's a dual climatic control system. So, you know, if the passenger is cold, they can turn the heat. If the driver's warm, they can turn on the air conditioning. It really depends. Most of the time, they're going to be synced automatically. Also, you have eco mode over here. So if you want to be conservative with your gas mileage, you can just press that button on and it will turn on eco mode. So it'll save some fuel and drive. The RPMs will change and all the electronic shift points will change drastically. You could do sport mode, traction control off, parking assist. I want to also mention it has rear view camera, so if you're reversing, you can see with very clear vision on what's behind you, how close you are to a barrier, and so on and so forth. Now if we make our way to the shift knob, it has the triptonic. One thing I don't like is to go down, that's shifting up gears, and to go up, it's shifting down gears. I don't know why they did that. It must be a reasoning to it, but I think personally if you're going up gears, it should be going up and not down. But that's my personal preference. Down here you have a dial, which, you know, Jeeps are meant for off-roading, different terrains, snow and stuff like that. You could just switch it between the turn of a dial, which is very user-friendly. You could, you know, switch it on command. So if we make our way down here, you just push that little button up, a hidden compartment comes. It's got an aux cord, 2 USBs, and then a cigarette lighter. So you have, you know, a surplus of different outlets for whatever, you know, you're trying to plug in. If you go up here, you have a nice sunglass holder. And the center console is very spacious, a little flimsy, so you just want to be careful with that. But overall, it's very luxurious for a Jeep. You know, I'm very comfortable, I'm content with it. It's got plenty of storage, easy access, user-friendly voice commands, all the new stuff in the new age of technology. So another thing I want to mention is it has 9 speakers in this Jeep, and they're all amplified, and it comes stock with a subwoofer. I don't know which brand they are, it's not Bose or anything like that, but for being stock speakers, 9 of them that are amplified is significant. You could really, you know, blast your music and not worry about blowing out a speaker. If we make our way up here, you have 2 standard dome lights. You could program your garage door openers. You have up to 3 garages you could program. Also, from up here, you have the rear hatch button, so you could open up that hatch. And then of course you have the most important part, the controls for the sunroof. This is pretty much a full car length or full body length panoramic sunroof. You could take away the shade with a push of a button, let some natural light in. But overall, the dash and all the display systems are pretty much the same as the previous generation, so I'm not going to get into that. It's very user friendly. We'll go through the system now. So if we make our way to the dash, it comes standard with a sleek digital display. You got the RPMs, you got the speedometer, you got the coolant temps, and the fuel level. Now this right here is the standard speedometer gauge. You could change that to just being the speed. So if you're driving, you won't have that gauge following, you could just have it digitally, which is just make a nice little convenient feature. So you could just quickly glance down, so you don't take your eyes off the road too much. You could just see what speed you're going, you have to calculate it. We could go down to tire pressures. This is like the vehicle info settings. You got tire pressure, you got trans temperature, you got oil temps, the oil pressure. Now all of this won't really matter to the average person, but if you're just curious, you have all these buttons. The oil life level, which is very convenient. You don't have to, you know, get stickers from dealerships to tell you what mileage. Now you could just tell by the vehicle. You have the battery voltage. And then we go down, you have the average gas mileage you're using. So right now we're about 18.3 because we're city driving, and it has 399 miles until empty. So we'll go down in the menus, we'll go to the triptonic. This is just pretty much tracking trip A. There's trip B, trip C, so you can just, you know, base it on whoever's driving. So right now trip A has been driving 2,700, pretty much literally the life of this car, the amount of miles it has, 2,702, and it has 18.2 miles per gallon average. If we make our way down the toggle switch more, we have our radio adjustments. So like I said earlier, if you have the screen off, you could just adjust your radio, your station, your song, all from this menu right here, so you don't take your eyes off the road too much. You have some messages, some indications from the cars, like, you know, if your oil is up, it will store it in that message. Like if you need an oil change, it will put it there. It's pretty much just like a warning, like almost like an email in a way. So with this directional pad over here, you can really adjust whatever you want to look at on your vehicle, on your display unit, which is very convenient. So going along with this directional pad where you could change the interface up here, you have cruise control buttons where you could set and the speed, you cancel it. You have down here the answer, so if you have an incoming call and you have your phone hooked up, you can answer it here, so you don't have to be distracted with your phone over there. You can hang up here. And then most importantly, you have this voice control. You just press that button, hold it, a prompt will come down to you. Please say a command, like a Siri pretty much. So you just say who you want to call or what you want to do, and it will answer to that, and it will automatically do that. So it's user friendly. Just a quick overview on the door. You have a nice little tweeter up here, one of the 9 speakers. You have a chrome accented door handle with this little complimentary line right here going along with this pretty smooth trim piece. You have your standard toggle switches, your automatic windows, which is nice. Even for the rears, they're automatic with the push of a button. You have your child lock, your window lock. So we make our way down. We have a bigger speaker there. We have a cup holder, and we have a nice little storage pouch. Probably not going to really use it. It's way down low when you have all this storage everywhere else. It's not really necessary. And then you got the cup holders up here. So now we're going to take it on the driving portion. So let's do that now. First impression, honestly, of just driving it is how light the steering wheel is. It's electronically assisted. So it's very point and direct. So you point, it goes. Road noise isn't too loud. It's not noticeable. We're not driving on highway speeds and I can't really hear anything. Acceleration for the V6, it's there. It goes. I mean, 293 horsepower is pretty significant for a small SUV. Very smooth handling, no body roll. Not like the old Wranglers or anything like that where you take a turn too fast, you feel like you're gonna flip it. Definitely not in this scenario. It's very comfortable, very light steering wheel. Like I said, electronic power assisted. Let's take this turn. Your body rolls, but the body of the car, not so much. But man, the acceleration is very smooth. It climbs RPMs very fast and consistent. I'm not really going to do too much on the driving aspect. It's very similar to the previous generation, so I don't want to get into detail. But overall, smooth, power's there, quiet, comfortable, and all around for the SUV, it's spectacular in my opinion. 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the highest, I'd give it about an 8 to be conservative. One other thing I want to mention is the power on off. So we're at a red light currently and the car just cuts power, the starter wise. So like if I were to inch forward, it'll start up and go. I'm not really a fan of the on off. I think it's going to wear down components. Yes, it's not running off the stock starter, it's an individual starter. Personally, I think they get quite annoying. Luckily you could turn that off because it's unnecessary in most cases. The suspension is very firm in a sense, but yet agile, so you go off-roading or different terrains very easily. But like I was saying earlier, the body roll is just not there, and I think that's spectacular for a Jeep to not have much body roll for being, you know, like a higher up SUV. My overall thoughts of the 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Edition is, for the price that it's priced at, I think it's spectacular. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest rating I give it, 1 being the lowest, I'd give it like a 7.5. I think Jeep, luckily next year, since they're revamping it and completely new design, are going to step it up tremendously. But from generation to generation, I think that they're keep improving, and it's very comfortable, spacious. So you could definitely take it on road trips. It's family oriented. You could fit a bunch of luggage in here. You could fit your kids comfortably, your dog, whatever the case may be. I think that this is a spectacular vehicle for its price. That's a wrap for today's video, guys. We hope you enjoyed. This is a review on a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Edition. If you like this video, please help us out tremendously by giving us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace. So as I said with the key, there's the trunk button. You just press it twice. It's not going to be right away. It's delayed and has a safety feature. Why did it do that? But to cut the car off, you just press it twice again, and it will automatically lock it. So if your car was, why did it do that? Son of a! As you, oh god, the bag move is scaring me for some reason. I was like, with plenty of legroom. Granted, the seat is pretty much catered to a 6 foot. No, how tall is your mom? It's got very firm and. Oh wow, that is really comfortable. Is that gonna be a problem? Okay. Turn on. Why won't the screen turn on? Very user friendly, very comfortable. Nope, I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry, Wes. Alright, guys. Oh god, I'm getting a phone call. That was the slowest walk.
Like over here, if you look, there's a lot of nice stuff over here, and like this is also nice, and there's some chrome So make sure you subscribe, like check out our merch, dude. Like, yo, please help us out. Buy all our merch, dog. Dude, just buy it. Just buy it. It's so good. Just buy it. Just buy it.